U.S. Navy fleet is headed toward North Korea after all. That's been confirmed by the White House today. This follows confusion when President Trump first claimed the Armada was on its way toward the Korean Peninsula, but it later turned out the U.S. ships were in fact going in the opposite direction. All this while tensions in Korea are still high, with Russia reportedly strengthening its far eastern border. RT's Alexei Arashevsky reports.
Just days after U.S. missile strike on a Syrian airbase, President Trump, in a televised interview, made further show of force kind of comments that U.S. naval fleet was heading towards the Korean Peninsula.
We are sending an armada, very powerful. We have submarines, very powerful, far more powerful than the aircraft carrier, that I can tell you.
The problem is that it actually wasn't at that time. New York Times revealed that when Trump and a number of officials made the claim, U.S. carrier Carl Vinson, along with 3 other warships, were in fact heading to the opposite direction to take part in joint exercise with the Australian Navy in the Indian Ocean. And that blip could have stayed unnoticed if the Navy itself did not post a picture of the vessel last Saturday, saying it was made while Carl Vinson was passing through Sunda Strait off the coast of Indonesia. The untimely and uncoordinated announcement sent a lot of blushes onto the faces of the Pentagon officials, but now the White House says the Armada is finally headed to the Sea of Japan.
I believe that he might have spoken too quickly on this location of the vessel before it was actually arriving.
The President said that we have an Armada going towards the peninsula. That's a fact. It happened. It is happening, rather. It was announced that it was going. It will be there. We were asked simply a question on that. I think all other questions should be asked of the Department of Defense.
The new war in Korea did not break out last weekend with a reported missile test by Pyongyang resulting in a failure. But North Korean officials still prefer to saber rattle, saying they might hold such tests on a weekly basis and are ready for a full-blown military action against the United States. It even shows a propaganda video of destroying a U.S. city and burning the U.S. flag. Meanwhile, an amateur video footage filmed in the Russian Far East went viral online, showing redeployment of Russian troops onto the border with North Korea. The Kremlin said through its spokesperson Dmitry Peskov on Monday that only a coordinated international effort would be the right way to solve the Korean crisis peacefully, noting at the same time that Moscow was highly concerned with what was happening on the Russian Far Eastern border. The same notion has been voiced by Beijing. So things may have calmed down a little bit for now, but the situation can hardly be described as stable. The U.S. fleet is expected to arrive by the coast of the Korean Peninsula early next week. Alexei Arashevsky, RT, reporting from Washington, D.C.
Boker Tov Chabrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. North Korea is not Syria. This is something that we're finding out in articles in the Russian language there, and it appears that Russia will have a much stronger stance for North Korea than they do of that of President Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Even though latest news coming out about Syria is that Russia and Iran have agreed to protect Syria of any other type of attack in the near future. But when it comes to North Korea, it's a completely different game. I'm going to share with you some information coming out of this article here, Israel Shamir's article on svetprasad.ru in just a moment here. But let me first take you over here to Lorenzo's Already Happened, share with you an incredible image that he is showing. This is Russian military, heavy-duty stuff headed down to the city there right on the North Korean border within 8 miles of North Korea. These particular types of, these are not tanks, these are special anti-aircraft missiles that were headed down there. An amazing show of force by Russia This is letting us know that Russia does intend to protect North Korea from the United States. An amazing show of force right here.